Everyone. Well, thank you everyone for coming out. That was Fair Leo. Can we give a nice round of applause for Fair Leo? All right. Just struggling with this thing. Well, hey everyone. How's everyone doing? Thank you for coming out. We're Vintage Pluto. We have an album that's going to be releasing July 1, actually. It's called Genesis. And when we play out live, we have a lot of people ask us, is there a way you can do like an acoustic set so we can hear your lyrics to your songs? So that's what we're doing tonight. So we're going to go through, we're going to talk about each person here. We're going to talk about our songs as well, the lyrics to the songs. So we do a quick introduction of everybody. Down all the way there, that's Joe Balassi on the bass. He's also he's one of the writers as well. Dave Balassi.
Hey, Dave.
Nick Balassi on the cajon tonight. We got Maggie Sanzaro, my wife. She's also their sister. Oh, you got it now. And I'm Nick Sanzaro. So everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. We got a couple sponsors, but we're going to announce that throughout the night. So once again, thank you so much for coming out. This first song is called It's OKO. For me personally, I wrote this song. I was very lucky to be able to stay at home with my kids for the first 6 months of our second son Giovanni's life, and I was able to watch them play. So this entire song was written during a time when Giovanni was crying when Maggie was gone. It's a little sad, but the song is happy. But he would cry when Maggie would leave, and at the time when we first started off Vintage Pluto, we were adding on a lot of our music onto YouTube, and the only way to make Giovanni stop crying was to watch his mom sing. Yes, I know it's a tearjerker. So over time, I was on a mission to release one video every month to build up the hours, truly, to keep my sanity. And I know everybody that was involved was kind of like, Nick, that's insane, but I was really doing it to make him feel better. So one day, I completely ran out of videos. We started watching the Stone Temple Pilots this live show that they did, and for whatever reason, that brought peace to him. After that wore out, I went on the piano, and I started doing this thing called It's OKO. Marcello, my oldest son, started crying as he heard the lyrics to it and just the music to it, and he was crying. He was sitting on the couch just crying. For a reason, it really touched him. And I just sat there and started writing a song to it. And one day, my mom brought over my niece, Rosalie, and it was really amazing to watch all of them play together. And I watched how Rosalie really made Giovanni brighten up because his mom not being there. So Rosalie is also in the song as well. So this song was basically written during a time where he was missing his mama. So this song is called It's OKO. It's OKO. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This next song is called Highway Cruise. I wrote this song. Don't have a really good story to it. Just came up with a decent song. Maggie's actually one that wrote the lyrics to it. So take it away, Maggie.
Well, like often happens, Nick wrote chords and goes, hey, you need to write lyrics to this. And this time he goes, it's called Highway Cruise. So that made me think of when we were dating and engaged. Nick had this little convertible, and we used to drive all around in the convertible. We especially loved to drive down Highway 21. Anybody driven down there? Yes, and it was Pam's convertible too. Hi, Pam. So we would drive down there and listen to music, and I had heard a lot of different music growing up, but my background was more musical theater and, kind of pop, and so Nick made me listen to Keishi, and we would drive around cruising, listening to Keishi, and he would quiz me on all the bands, and I had to know, was it Led Zeppelin or AC/DC or Guns N' Roses or whoever, and at first I would just say Led Zeppelin every time, just to kind of make him mad, and he would be absolutely disgusted that I said every band sounded like Led Zeppelin. So as we would cruise, we'd listen to music, and so there's a little bit of like a Robert Plant tribute in this too. Highway Cruise.
Joe Balassi on the bass sound there, everybody.
Thank you.
This next song, the music for this, actually, I was in a band called Epinosis before, and my dad really pushed us as musicians to record live and come up with things on the spot. There's my dad right there, by the way. Hi, Dad. My dad paid way too much money for musical equipment for us to be able to learn and do anything that we want to do without any restrictions. So thank you so much, Dad. And Mom. My mom is watching our kids right now. Hi, Mom. She might be watching, actually. So anyways, this next song is called Out of Darkness, and this was written literally 10 years ago with a couple other guys and my brother who's in the band, who's right there, Scott.
Woo.
And Maggie, so 10 years later I record this, I told Maggie, I go, hey, is there anything you can do with this song? So she came up with the lyrics to it, and she can talk to you a little bit about what it means.
Well, we are, as he said, all siblings, and we actually do have a fifth sibling who doesn't appear as much with Vintage Pluto, but she's done some guest stuff with us. But we have another sister, and her name is Jessica, and she doesn't do as much band stuff with us because she works for an organization called The Covering House, and yes, it's amazing. So a little bit about that, she actually got into it through music. Her director of her musical theater program was writing an awareness drama about human trafficking, and she was focusing on this local organization called The Covering House. We kind of hear about trafficking on a large scale internationally, but it also happens a lot with our domestic kids. And Covering House really focuses on providing restorative care to our kids in the area who have been trafficked. So Jessie started working with that organization, and we've then had a lot of exposure to what they're doing, and not only seeing the strength of the girls they're working with. They're all ages 13 to 17 who are going through their restorative programs at the Covering House. And they focus a lot on referring to them not as victims of human trafficking, but as survivors. They say over and over, we work with survivors of trafficking, we work with survivors. And so Jessie had been telling me about some of her experiences, and that's what kind of came to me when we were writing the song. This is called Out of Darkness. Thank you.
Dave Balassi on acoustic guitar. All right, so tonight is a special night as well. This next song we are going to talk about a very particular person. But happy birthday to Val. Hi, Val. Val, so we actually have a gift from one of our sponsors, Busquets. This is Joe. He will present you with a gift that we have for you tonight. That's Jen. Jenny is. Never mind. I'm sorry. Not Joe. Yes, Val, if you can raise your hand. Awesome. It is for you. It is actually for you. So check us our Facebook page. We actually tagged them in our Facebook page, so please check them out. Joe and Jenny, everybody, we're over here. They're our sponsor tonight, and also Val. All right, so if you want to talk about No, Maggie, really I didn't contribute much to the song other than coming up with the bass line and doing guitar on top of that, and then making Nick do it in one take on the album because we were running out of time in our recording studio. So go ahead, Maggie.
So this song is actually also about, so we have 3 boys. Nick and I are married, and we have 3 little boys, Marcello, Giovanni, and Lucio. And the middle one, Giovanni, we called Gio, and his older brother nicknamed him O. And he is quite a character, so he's had a couple songs written about him. And when Nick first played this song for me, he said, "What do you hear?" And I was like, all I can hear in my head right now is Giovanni going, "No!" because that's what he did probably 75% of the time. So it usually wasn't actually directed at us. It was directed at his big brother who was trying to tell him what to do. So this song is about O talking to his big brother. And it is also dedicated to Val. Woo!
Hey, Val.
Because Val is also very good at saying no. So Val's a personal trainer. She has Kickstarter Fitness, and she worked with us at a time that Nick and I had both gone through just some really awful health issues. And Val started training with us and really helped us kind of heal and get healthy again. And there were a lot of times we would ask her things, and she would say no. Like, "Val, can we please still eat pizza on Tuesday nights?" And she'd be like, "No." "Val, for the love of God, can we stop doing burpees?" "No." Please, 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 can we turn on the fans?" For any of you J people, you know that that was a big fat no! No, no fans for you. So, Val, happy birthday. We love you. This song is for you also.
Get it off, Joe.
So in love with all your rules, like if you make more, they might affect me. But no one tells me what to do, especially you. 'Cause I've always done my own thing. I dance to the beat of my own drummer. And if my rules line up with yours, well, that's real sweet. But if not, you're gonna hear me saying no. You'll think you gotta wait until you hear me screaming no. Why should I even listen to a word you're saying? If you think you control me, got another thing coming. No, I do what I please. I'm free. Nothing has a hold on me. I'm free. You can't touch my liberty. I'm free. Don't ever try to tread on me. 'Cause I'm still free. If you tell me not to do it, I only want to do it more. Try and tell me not to touch it, and watch as I reach out my arm. Oh, the sweetness of freedom. Can you tasted singing. No, you think you gotta wait till you hear me screaming. No, why should I even listen to a word you're saying? If you think that you control me, got another thing coming. No, I do what I please. I'm free. Nothing has a hold on me. I'm free. You can't touch my liberty. I'm free. Ever try to tread on me? 'Cause I'm still free. You think you gotta wait till you hear me screaming. Why should I even listen to a word you're saying? You think you control me, got another thing coming. I do what I please. You think you gotta wait till you hear me screaming. Why should I even listen to a word you're saying? You think you control me, got another thing coming. I do what I please. You think you gotta wait till you hear me screaming. Why should I even listen to a word you're saying? You think you control me, got another thing coming. I do what I please. 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 Do what I please. Do what I please. I do what I please. I do what I please. Do what I please. Do what I please. I 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 do what I please.
That's no. Maggie stands there, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so now I'm going to introduce you to Dave Velasi. This next song is called Distraction.
So yeah, this one and actually the one I'm going to play after this are probably the more personal of the songs that I've wrote, because most of the songs I get like a chorus or a melody line in my head, but to actually write the verses I have to think about some other character from a book or from a movie, and I base my verses on someone else or someone else that I know. But these are the two songs that I've written that are really about experiences that I've gone through. So this one's about being either at work or the DMV or being somewhere and having something just repetition in your head that you can't get out, and you can't run from it because it's in your head, and you just need a distraction from the things in your own head. So this one is Distraction. I need a distraction to carry me far away from here, away from this madness, and away from the voices in my head. So what if I'm counting seconds? So what if I'm checking out? So what if I count the
feeling of going nowhere, that feeling of needing out, that feeling of dying slowly here in my sweat stained clothes. I think I'm now thinking clearly, I think I'm now figured out, I think I can free my psyche if I can just let it go. I need a distraction to carry me far away from here, away from this madness, and away from the voices in my head. I need a distraction to carry me far away from here, away from this madness, and away from the voices in my head.
Dave Pelosi, everybody.
Thank you, and once again for Nick Sanazero on the guitar.
Yep.
I really crushed Maggie.
That was a solid hit, yeah.
It's not enough that I broke my shoe and have to go barefoot. You try to break my teeth.
You need her.
We're down there trying to figure out how to fix Maggie's shoes, so that's why she's barefoot.
Two safety pins couldn't do it.
This next song is called Cicadas, also written by Dave.
Yeah, so this one, again, like I was saying, this is the other one that I've wrote that didn't have to think about it at all, didn't have to think about the verses. This was literally, I was outside one night with a glass of whiskey and listening to the cicadas. It was just one of those like perfect nights where you can see all the stars and you can hear the cicadas singing around you, and it was just, can't describe it any other way than just a spiritual experience. So yeah, that's what this song's about. Now here I sit and sing with the cicadas, alone with all my thoughts, just me and this guitar. And here I ponder all the things that brought me to be just where I sit, and all that led to this. And no, time flies by me, no, time flies by me, you know, time flies by me now. Still I sit, the seconds turn to minutes, no great epiphany to tell, but memories they flash of highs and lows, of victories and failures, of all that I am proud, and some might soon forget. But no, I know the good and bad define me. I wouldn't change a thing. They made me who I am. I know time flies by me, you know. Time flies by me, you know. Time flies by me now. turn to hours. Just me and all this starlight. I think of what comes next. And now I'm sad. I know I'm going forward with all that brought me here. I know that I will rise. And life's a battle, but I will take it head on. The second thoughts of fear, I owe it to myself. And time flies by me, no. Time flies by me, no. Time flies by me now. And time flies by me, no. Time flies by me, no. Time flies by me now. Now in the quiet, I say with our cicadas, I don't know what comes next, but isn't that the fun?
Dave Bloss, everybody. This next song, that was Dave, by the way.
I think Dave should sing another one because they really liked that one.
Got another one, Dave?
What other one?
We got, where is Carried? Do you guys want to do Carried now? Let's do Carried. All right, we're skipping our list, so get ready.
Take that water though.
Water right there. All right, this next one's called Carried, as I cover for Dave as he takes a drink of water.
My water.
You're doing a great job.
Has some good water.
RJ featured J Mug.
Yeah, so this one's called Carried. So the other songs I wrote that aren't deeply personal, usually I get the chorus driving to work or just doing something. I get a chorus or a melody line in my head, and I think about a character or someone I know, and I write the verses around that, something that someone else went through or is going through that I know. This one, the chorus, you're going to hear it, is pretty straightforward. The verses I actually wrote about this character in a book that I liked a lot growing up. It was this old Viking character. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. It's this old Viking dude that was just like, he had it in his heart that I'm going to die on the battlefield. And everyone's like telling him, no, you're too old to go out and fight. He's like, no, I'm not going to die in my bed. I'm going to go out and I can show you that I can still fight and I'm going to die on the battlefield. And so this song's about that. It's about getting old, but knowing that you still have something left in the tank. You still got a lot left in the tank.
Oh yeah.
Do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so cold. I do not ask to be carried. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so damn cold. I do not ask to be carried. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so cold. I do not ask to be carried. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so damn cold. I do not ask to be carried. So just let me stand on my own 2 feet. And I'll weather the storm, I'll take on the ocean's daunting form, and I'll sink or swim do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so cold. I do not ask to be carried. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so damn cold. I do not ask to be carried. So just let me stand on my race here, fight here, die here if need be, war here, scrape here, bleed here. I don't fear the outcome, but what I fear is a slow and a short derision. What I fear is losing my heart and my passion to drive on. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so cold. I do not ask to be carried. I do not ask to be carried, but you don't have to be so damn cold. I do not ask to be carried. Stand on my own 2 feet and I'll weather the storm. I'll take on the ocean's daunting form, and I'll sink or swim.
Dave Velasquez, everybody. Dave Velasquez, everybody. That was carried. I also have not introduced Nick. This is Nick right here. Percussion. He's doing a great job. Everybody keep Nick's fingers in mind. Your thoughts there.
And your
They're starting to
prayers.
swell
Yeah.
right now.
He might make it to the end, but we don't know.
We don't know. I want to introduce one of our sponsors, Joe Odie over here. Take it away, Joe.
Hey, how we doing? Do we have Laura in the house?
Laura is actually the GM. She might be in
She might actually be
the bar, yes.
Well, I want to say thank you for everyone coming out today. My name is Joe Odie. I'm the founder of Booze K. We make personalized labels and unique gifts, like the one here and the one that we gave Val today. You can find us on our Etsy store and then also online.
Laura, there you are.
Hey! Laura. Yeah, what? Wanted to say thank you for having everyone out today. So we made you a little gift today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we made a customized Monocle label on there, and there's some nice vodka inside for you as well. Yeah, so thank you. Well, Nick, per usual, you sound fantastic, so keep up the good work, man.
Thanks, Joe. They really are. All right, this next song is called Words of the Wise. Now, this was already recorded. We recorded live at Gaslight Studios. When we were first trying to get out there and start playing gigs, I could not book anything. And I'm a very good salesperson. I could not book anything. People basically like, are you on Spotify? Are you on YouTube? I didn't have anything. I had a video of all of us sitting in Bob and Kathleen's house for Joe's birthday doing a song that we literally just did on the spot. That's all we had. So I immediately started making connections. We went to Gaslight Studios and we did a live take of all of our songs. So this particular song is called Words of the Wise, and we did this live at Gaslight. So for me personally, I wrote this song. I had moved out to Iowa. It was my first time completely leaving my home. I was 21 years old. I left my parents. I took a very good job out there, but my first day when I went out there, first it was very hard to leave my family. I was also engaged to Maggie, and I was leaving her behind. We were freshly engaged. I think I was moving away 2 months right after we got engaged. And the first day I'm out there, my car gets just T-boned. My car has to go into the repair shop. I go and rent a car, and I also put E85 gas into the car, destroy the car. Yep. And then I also get a call from my brand new boss that my position has changed, and I'm taking half a base pay decrease, completely changed, and I was stuck out there in Iowa. So I walked to the store, and I bought a bottle of bourbon, and I hadn't smoked cigarettes in about 4 years at that point in time. I bought a pack of cigarettes, and I sat there on my deck, and I cried, and I played this particular song. And I literally played all night. And I watched this raccoon that I ended up becoming friends with because I was all by myself. And no joke, until the dawn, I just played the song. I had this little guitar that I used to propose to Maggie in Colorado, and it was just garbage. And I sat there just buzzed out of my mind, as you can imagine, as I finished that bottle, smoking my cigarettes, and just depressed with my life. Years later, I had told Maggie, I go, man, I wrote this really good song. The music is great to it. I could never come up with any lyrics to it. So I gave it to Maggie, and I had her listen to it. She had been listening to it over time anyways. And at that time, we had our first child, and she had some inspiration from those lyrics. So this is our most played song on iTunes. We're very lucky, or on Spotify, we're very lucky. We've had a couple of cafes in California pick us up, and we're on their playlist. This also gets played on KDHX as well. So I'm going to have Maggie talk a little bit about this song. Just the lyrics.
Yep. I didn't know any of that about how he wrote the music. He just usually goes, hey, here's this chord progression, I need words. But when I was listening to it, I could tell it was a very emotional chord progression, so I struggled at first with what to write. But in the end, I ended up writing it about co-sleeping, which sounds like a really weird topic to write a song about, but that's basically letting your kid sleep in your bed with you instead of in a crib in the other room. And we had not planned to do that at all. We took our good little parenting classes, like good little first-time parents, and learned that you're supposed to put your baby in a crib by themselves in another room with no blanket, and it's supposed to be this certain temperature, and there's all these rules you're supposed to follow. So we did, and our kids screamed, and screamed, and screamed, and screamed, and no one in our house slept. Even the dogs were miserable. They were coming in staring at us like, what did you do? And so finally, we let him sleep in our bed, kind of on accident, and it ended up just working for us, and I really struggled with it because I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing like the stuff you're supposed to do. But it worked, and we all slept, and Nick had a job where he was traveling a lot, and I was working during the day, and at home at night, I wanted the baby next to me. So this song's kind of about parenting and just kind of getting into what works for you and your kids, and listening to that over sometimes the standard expectations. So this song is also for my parents tonight, because I don't think you can really understand some of the things your parents went through until you become a parent and realize there are a lot of difficult choices that you have to make, and in the end you do what works best for your kids.
Is it 3 or 4? Why is it always either or? Is it peace the goal we should be striving for? And I've tried to give you your own space, to follow the words of the why, but it was too soon to push you away. Next to me is where you belong. We've just been together for so long. All the ups and downs, us against the world. And even all admit this was at first for my sanity. But you still needed me, didn't know how thankful I would
Thank you, Cesar, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
This next one's called Noise. I don't have a good story about this one. I was actually aggravating our oldest son as he was sitting on my cajon and playing. I was trying to sing a song about him, so I was like playing this and just trying to come up with something. I really couldn't kind of think of them. Marcello, I want to beat you up. It's not as good as what Maggie did.
We have all boys. There's lots of wrestling at our house. This one actually, it's a little disjointed in that it was about a whole bunch of different situations, kind of all different things people in the band were going through at the same time, either with work or personal relationships. So even within the verses, there's actually different lines within the same verse about totally different situations, but all of them kind of felt to apply back to this. Sometimes if we just get a little bit of time, everything will work itself out, and that's Noise. You try to make me think I'm crazy, but you're the one who's tripping up, boy. You make it seem like I'm so wild, but you're the one who can't be controlled. And oh, you know. You're always blaming me for something. Could it be you're just off your game? You smile like you know what's up, but I wonder if inside's a blank space. Oh, you know. But maybe if we take some time, all this noise will work itself out. Maybe if we get some space, we can decide to be a soaring free. If I pull back and think this out, I realize that I'm not perfect. I'm loyal, loud, and yes, I'm headstrong. But isn't that just why you love me? You know you love me. Maybe if we take some time, all this noise will work itself out. Maybe if we get some space, we can decide to be a soaring free. Oh, maybe if we take some time, all this noise will work itself out. Maybe if we get some space, we can decide to be a soaring free.
That's Noise, everybody. Megan, Joe Balassi.
Thank you.
Want to do a switcheroo, Joe? Want to do a switcheroo? Or you gonna do Dave's guitar? Or you want to switch mine?
I don't know, either one.
Why don't you and I will switch?
Is one of them, they're both tuned up.
They're both tuned
Either
up.
one. I'll take either one.
All right, we're gonna switch real quick, so act like you don't see us switching.
Anyone have a Cardinals score out there? Anyone? I mean, don't look at your phone. You're at a show. Never mind. What are you doing? Yeah, check it until Joe's ready. We've been doing so good so far against the Padres. My hopes are up. You get out.
Do better, Adam.
Don't need that kind of talk in here.
I will say that this next song Joe wrote, this is going to be on our album that's coming up. This is why we're doing this event. The album's going to be called Genesis. It's going to be coming out July 1. What was interesting is when we were trying to book things, we did this acoustic live album, and we did it because it was the most inexpensive way to get something out there on Spotify. So as we're trying to book these bigger venues where we can play, because we actually are rockers, they're like, well, you guys are an acoustic band, yeah? So that's why we decided to do this next album as a really rock and roll type album. But we also bring it down. It's one of people's favorite times in our show is when we kind of bring it down to this acoustic level. So, Joe, take it away if you want to talk about the song.
Yeah, so this song's called Better With You, and it's a song that I wrote about my fiancée Grace, who is in the audience tonight. We're getting married very soon, just about a month from now.
Oh, she's
So
right
I
here.
am
Right.
super excited about that. And I wrote this song about Grace, and it's got some other stuff thrown in that's just artistic. I thought, oh, this would make sense here. But the chorus is mainly just about us and how I feel like my life is just so much better with her in it. And I wrote this song about her, and I'm gonna play it for all of you guys. Not stressed out, but I got a lot of things on my mind. Sit back and relax. Music will help me unwind. I have no doubt. Babe, we are one of a kind. There way to show you that I've made up my mind. Is there a way to show you that I'm not wasting time? You've already shown me there's not a greater love I'll find. There's a way to show you these are the best days of my life. And my cares fade away when I'm with you. You make my heart come alive with all the things you do. And I smile when I think of all the battles that you helped me through. And all my pain is just a memory in the rear view. 'Cause it's true. Better with you. This is my love song. You're my one and only, it's true. Stop holding back now. I'll hold nothing back from you. This is my love song. You're my one and only, it's true. Is there a way to show you
go Bossy, everybody. Adam Adams, can you give me a drink, please? All right, what do we got over here? All right, take it away, Joe. This is You Won, so I get time to tune my guitar. See how I plan that out? Man, I'm real smart.
So this song is called You Won. This is like the part of the show where we're doing our songs about our significant others. So this is about Nick.
Hello.
When Nick turned 30 last year.
Wow, that's old.
I was really trying to figure out what I could do that, first of all, Nick would actually like, because he's not super into presents and he's really hard to shop for, but he's really good at giving presents, so it's really tricky. And music is obviously a huge part of his life. So I secretly contacted everyone in our families and had them all write songs about him. And then Joe and I, in the basement, secretly recorded an entire album about Nick, where everybody wrote their songs. And when it was time for me to write my song, I kind of struggled for a second and went, wait, what? I had like 10 years of material to sift through. But Nick has...
Crushing you, I'm sorry.
Move up here. Nick always will, if any situation arises, he'll kind of go back to when we first started dating, and I was apparently kind of difficult in the beginning to go out with him. Basically, he says that I was mean and I wouldn't give him the time of day, which is not completely true, but not completely untrue either. I'm just a little suspicious of you with your, like hippie hair and your whole thing you had going on. Yes.
Oh, very deep.
Very deep V's, like
V
super
necks.
low buttoned. And so I did. I prejudged him. I'm sorry.
Bandanas and burning the incense
He
and
used
stuff.
to wear
huh?
these flip-flop things that were from pedicures. Anyway, not from his pedicure. Like someone else got a pedicure and he was wearing the flip-flops. Anyway, so
You're painting a good picture.
I prejudged him a little and was kind of hesitant when he was asking me out at first. So every now and then he gives me grief and I go, see, aren't you glad that I was victorious even though you were super difficult? And he likes to talk about how great he is. So the song is called, if you know Nick, I know you're all really surprised that he thinks highly of himself, but he should, because he's fabulous. So this song is called You Won. Was there a competition? I missed the starting gun. All of a sudden, flurry of communication, and a pencil me in here. Could I just stare at you? What do you want? Travel uphill to see the stars and the view. And now we're off on a run. And if life is a race, then baby, you broke out from the crowd. Pulling strong into first, so I had to notice your smile catching me off guard. And at risk of puffing your big head up, you're the best that could be, and from the deepest part of me, I'm so glad you won.
Thanks, Scott.
There was always something there, playing at the back of my mind, squinting at the sun, playing cards on a bench. You went wild for a while, then just walked back in, carrying your guitar, zero interest at first, but you made me reverse, and now we're off on a run. And if life is a race, then baby, you broke out from the crowd, pulling strong into first, so I had to notice your smile catching me off guard. And at risk of puffing your big head up, you're the best that could be, and from the deepest part of me,
I'm so glad you won. With you I laugh more, sing more, eat more, play more. Somehow it's all more fun. With you I'm stronger, bolder, safer, wiser. So much more than I was before. With you I laugh more, sing more, eat more, play more. Somehow it's all more fun. With you I'm stronger, bolder, safer, wiser. So much more than I was before. And if life is a race, then baby, you broke out from the crowd. Rolling strong in first, so I had to notice your smile catching me off guard. And at a risk of puffing your big head up, we're the best we could be, and from the deepest part of me, I'm so glad you are. Glad you are. I'm so glad you are.
Thank you. Maggie sent us over, everybody. And yes, I did win. Excuse me. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping up here soon. This next song is it's called Ruby. And there is my brother-in-law, who's my best friend, is here, and my sister, right there. Hello. This is about their daughter, Ruby. And let me tell you, she is a spitfire. So, I always say when we do these other shows that it's about some lady I met. No, it's definitely about my niece. But I'll tell you what, I had this disgusting mustache for a while and this ponytail.
It is. So terrible.
Some people are not happy that's gone.
Val said no.
Val says no. See, Val does say no. It's okay. Bring it back. Petition. Anyways, one day I was holding Ruby, and she gave me the most disgusted look I've ever seen on a baby. And she smacked me right in my face. Did not want to be held by me at all. I got to tune up here. Did not want to be held by me at all, and went right back to her mom. So, I'm sorry, Jill. But in turn, I went home, inspired a song, and that is what this song is about.
Tune it back to so your A note should be a G note.
See, there we go.
I sabotaged you, is what it was.
You did. I still love you, Joe. I still love you.
Well, after the last song, puffing your head all up, I had to humble you back down. Like, I'm gonna tune his guitar all wrong. He's gonna be so embarrassed.
Problem
I
is,
don't get embarrassed.
Nick doesn't get embarrassed.
Build him up, push him back down.
All right, let's go, Ruby. There we go. I was just gonna push right through it. I didn't even care. So,
Ruby, babe, you've got your mama's temper, hey. You're like a hammer, baby, you're insane.
Ruby told me in New Orleans, you better shave that stash off. 'Cause I don't want it up in my face when I'm trying to steal a kiss. You better get back. You better get back. Before I tell you gonna get smacked. I said, Ruby, with the mug looking like that, I might just have to think about that, alright.
So Ruby, babe, you've got your mama's temper, hey.
You're like a hammer, baby. You're insane. When we rode up to St. Louis on the back of a daddy's bike, I said, come on, babe, why don't you ride with me and hop on my three-wheel truck? She said, get back, you better get back before I turn. Gonna get smacked. She said, if my daddy saw me on a truck, he might just have a heart attack, alright. So, Ruby, babe, you've got your mama's temper, hey. You're like a hammer, baby. You're insane. Really done me in Chicago, late on a Friday night. I said, come on, babe, come on back with me and come on and spend the night. She said, get back, you better get back before I turn. You're gonna get smacked. She said, if you ask me out again, I'm gonna make that head spin, alright. So, Ruby, babe, you've got your mama's temper, hey. You're like a hammer, baby. You're insane. One more time, just vocals. So, Ruby, babe, you've got your mama's temper, hey. You're like a hammer, baby. You're insane. That's a song about Ruby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what's awesome about Vintage Pluto is all of us are songwriters. Even though Nick is not singing, he is actually a great songwriter. So we had met with a producer, he will remain nameless, who basically told me, we had a lot of people beforehand told us, you have to keep this up for me, grab the other one. Who basically said, you guys have to figure out what genre of music you are and stick with that, and you'll make it big. And I said, hell no, I'll do whatever I want. So it's actually turned out to be very successful for us. I am very influenced by blues. Maggie is definitely, as you can tell, a pop singer. And Dave actually writes very good songwriting, It's moving into country. And Joe is an outstanding songwriter as well. We're all very different. But I think that is the appeal. So yesterday, it kind of broke my heart just a little bit that we got added to a country playlist. And it's with this next song. Let me plug in real quick. I'll tell you the rest of the story. I really am. So this next song, I'm going to keep pretty vague. I can just say that this is in a drop D tuning, which is apparently the devil's tuning. And I really wanted to learn what the devil's tuning was because it just intrigued me. And the lyrics to the song, you don't need to know about. You don't get a story about it. You listen to the words, and that's about as much as I can tell you about this song. It is a story about how we got here to St. Louis, and I will end it off with that.
Sister showed up at my door, tears all down her face. That lonely, drunken waste of life had beat her up again. And now I'm seeing red, my ears are ringing loud. I'm so done with all of this, gonna put him 6 feet down. So I tell her just take a seat, relax, it'll all be fine. I tell my man I've had enough, today that scum will die. So I call up my brother, saying come on over boys, cause this is gonna end today. My brothers were coming to kill him, so he could never hurt her again. But little did they know, my man would beat him to it, and now that skull's lying in the ground. We show up to finish him, but he's already been done. Clear the scene, bury the dead, make it look like he's just gone. We'll tell sis he ran away, but I know my man's to blame. That lowlife's brother is the sheriff, now running is the game. My brothers were coming to kill him, so he could never hurt her again. But little did they know, my man had beat him to it, and now we're all gone on the run. Days and weeks turn to months as we move from town to town. Finally settling in St. Louis where we put our new roots down. New jobs, new name with a boring backstory. Even still talk to my family, and all are well, all are happy, and I'll never admit a thing. Now 50 years later, I'm telling you, my baby, there's never a reason let a man treat you badly, 'cause Grandpa never lost his aim. My brothers would still come and kill him, so no one will ever hurt you again. But even in his old age, my man could beat him to it, so don't you ever worry about a thing. Don't you ever worry about a thing.
Let's call it Settle in St. Louis. All right, guys, we're coming to the end. This is going to be our last song for the night. We want to thank everybody so much for coming out. There's a show after us. But I want to thank everybody so much for coming out. We appreciate your support. So once again, we are dropping our full album. It'll be in, can you grab the tuner too? We'll be dropping our full album on July 1st. And we'll be on Spotify. We have finally made it on Pandora, so this new one will be on Pandora, which is a big accomplishment for us. That's really it. We are going to be working on an album right after that. We're going to be releasing a Christmas single as well, which my brother Scott, who's over there, Scott, he's going to be helping us with. Scott also wrote a song. We were thinking about having him come up and do a song, but we assumed that he would say no. But he did. He wrote a really great song on that album that Maggie was talking about that everybody wrote for me. So we're going to be sprinkling. They literally wrote 10 songs. It was all about me. It was amazing. But we're going to be sprinkling those songs throughout our album. So we'll be finishing up the night. This last song is called Southbound. So all I can really talk about with this song without tearing up too much is it is conversations that I've had with my own grandpa and Maggie's grandpa. So when you're lucky enough to marry into an awesome family like I have, you get access to a bunch of other grandpas as well. So I have one grandpa here as well, Jerry. Hello. Maggie's other grandpa is not here. Most of the lyrics I pulled was from him, actually. So it's just things that we've spoken about over time. And on a particular day, Maggie got a voicemail from her grandpa that said, some asshole must have been driving with their head up their ass because 55 is closed. It's a doggone mess. And when I heard that voicemail, I said, that is a song. That is absolutely, without a doubt, a song. And I went home immediately, and I got on a guitar, and I just thought about my grandpa, because that day I was actually with my grandpa. It was just funny things that we were talking about throughout the day, like, for example, he had said, someone had asked him, has your appetite changed? And he said, yes, I used to be able to eat five burgers, and now I got type 2. I'm sitting here having to cut all my food into portions. And that day, it was just a long conversation between him and I just decided to write a song. So this song is called Southbound.
Some asshole must been driving with their head up their ass, 'cause 55 is closed, it's a doggone mess. And I'm trying to take your grandma out on a date. Well, that ain't happening, not today. That train derailed, and I'm not surprised. They've been driving so fast, I'm surprised they ain't died. I've been thinking about riding that southbound myself. I've been in so much pain, it's a living hell. I said, yeah, whoa, yeah, I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah, whoa, yeah, I'm sitting around waiting to die. My appetite's been changing since I got old. I could eat 5 damn burgers before they got cold. Now I'm sitting cutting portions, 'cause I got type 2. Whoa, Snickers, 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 won't you sing me a tune? While saying bye, bye, bon Beatles, say yeah, yeah. Bye, bye, bon Beatles, say, is this my song? I said yes, bye, bye, bon Beatles, say yeah, yeah. Bye, bye, bon Beatles, say I'm liking my song. I've been trying to stick around so I can see your boys. Just watching them play, it brings me so much joy. I took an extra shot so I can try your beer. Oh, my sweet boy, can I have your ear? He whispered, yeah, oh yeah, I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah, whoa, yeah, I'm sitting around waiting to die. I'm hoping when I go, I'm with my dog, swinging back and forth, laughing, drinking a cold one, with my belly full and my family around. Oh Lord, take me away when the laughing gets good. He said, yeah, oh yeah, I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah, oh yeah, I'm sitting around waiting to die, but I'll be singing bye bye bon Beatles, say yeah, yeah, bye bye bon Beatles, say is this my song? I said yes, bye bye bon Beatles, say yeah, yeah, bye bye bon Beatles, say I'm liking my song. I'm just gonna say I love you, 'cause you never know. That train might be coming before you or I know. Whoa, my song.
I said yes,
Bye bye, won't be the same. Yeah, yeah. Bye bye, won't be the same. I'm liking my song.
he said yeah.
Whoa, yeah. I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm sitting around waiting to die, but I'll be singing. Bye bye, Burrito, say, yeah, yeah. Bye bye, Burrito, say, is this my song?
I said yes,
Bye bye, Burrito, say,
yeah, yeah.
bye bye, Burrito, say, I'm liking my song.
He said
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm sitting around waiting to die.
everybody.
He said, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm riding that southbound tonight. He said, yeah. Whoa, yeah. I'm sitting around waiting to die.
Thank you, everybody. We're finished, Pluto. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out. Thank you. All the way down, we have Joe Bellassi on the bass. Gabe Bellassi on guitar. Nick Bellassi on cajon. Maggie Sanzera on vocals. And I'm just Nick. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Make sure you tip your bartenders, waitresses. Once again, thank you, everybody. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, colleagues, one and all, thank you so much for coming out to the Emerald Room tonight. Give it up once more for Vintage Pluto!